is because you can take that cash, invest it in a property. You have multiple benefits other than a return, right? You're going to get monthly income from putting that cash into the property. You buy a rental property, you're going to get cash flow. You have other factors that increase the overall return on the idle cash.
Yeah.
You have...
On the podcast, so make sure you guys ask us any real estate questions, any business related questions. We're taking all questions, so make sure you ask them, drop them in the comments below.
Absolutely. So on this episode, we kind of did a different format than the previous two, man. I think with everyone that wants to get in real estate, you have to ask yourself that, do you have a passion for it?
Yeah.
There has to be an interest, and the interest can't be money.
Yeah.
Because, like, this, for example, it's like I know people that are very wealthy, they own no real estate. You can make money a million ways in this world. You got literally people that make millions of dollars by just posting videos online.
Yeah.
Of nothing, of joking around, right? You have to have a passion for it, because that passion is going to make you go hard with the education. It's going to make you go hard on the numbers, hard on really knowing your stuff, and going to be able to have you maintain the energy and the mental fortitude it takes to succeed in real estate.
Yeah.
Because real estate is easy once you go through a lot of hell.
Yeah. Facts.
You got to go through the hell in real estate. I mean, I tell people, everyone getting in, that's why so many people fail in real estate. They fail in flipping houses. They fail as agents. They fail because they start getting into real estate thinking, looking at other people's success and like, man, you know, I'm going to get in real estate. I'm going to go run up 100. I'm going to go run up $1 million. Yeah. Do you have that opportunity? 100%. But you're going to go through a lot of headaches. And I just saw this meme yesterday. It was so funny. It hit me like right in the chest. It said the deals that are the most problems are the ones that you always make the least amount of money on.
Yeah.
And that's what's so crazy about real estate. The ones that you're stressed out, ready to pull your hair, everything's on fire, you're making phone calls, it's 11 o'clock at night, you're trying to get things done, it closes tomorrow, the whole world's on fire, and you make a couple grand.
Yeah.
And the ones that's like, answer a phone call, send a couple documents, make a couple phone calls, boom, make 50 grand. And you're just like, why? Well, it's just how it works. But those times when you're in the trenches and you're going through the mud in real estate, going through that pain, is what makes people quit.
Yeah.
They cannot persevere. They don't have the grit to see the other side. And again, in real estate, the biggest thing I see besides that is once they get a win, they take the foot off the gas. Like, you cannot skip a beat. It's feast or famine.
Gotta keep going.
You go make, I don't care if you go make a $30,000 commission a day.
What's happening?
That was today.
Yeah.
You need to have short-term vision. There's a reason why the windshield's bigger than the rearview mirror. You know what I mean? You got to be looking forward of, what do I have coming in the pipeline?
Yeah.
What am I building that is sustainable? Because you selling $1 million homes is not sustainable as far as a plan to generate a living in real estate. You got to have an investment strategy. You got to start putting your money into assets.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So just to further that point, I know we had talked about earlier about, you know, people who are, you know, making a lot of money per year, but that's their active income. So if I'm somebody, you know, if I'm a social media influencer and I'm making a lot of money just posting, you know, brand partnerships or posting my videos and such, maybe I don't want to invest in real estate because I feel like that's too hard for me. So what should I do if I'm that person, you know?
If you want to invest in real estate, again, I told you, it all begins with education.
Yeah.
It's like, what really blows my mind about people that go to financial advisors and these stock market guys, which I was self-taught in the stock market. I learned mutual funds, ETFs, how to day trade. you got to study yourself before you give someone else your money to invest for you. Because how are you going to give someone your money and then you don't know what's going on?
Yeah.
You don't know if it's a good investment. You don't know, which way's up, which way's down. So these people, they do a little bit of research. You work with someone like you, like me, that are real estate professionals, been in the business, know the numbers, have the teams, the systems and processes in place to make a real estate transaction and a real estate investment as stress-free as possible. Because you're going to have stress, you're going to have problems. The only way to mitigate that for someone who's new, a newbie to investing in real estate, is to work with someone who is experienced with dealing with those problems. Yeah. Because it becomes muscle memory. Yep. You kind of been through every fire. You know how to firefight, right? There's like a fire, a regular firefighter. It's a grease fire, electrical fire, chemical fire. They know what tool they have to use to extinguish that fire. Same thing with us as real estate professionals. So you got to do a little bit of research. You got to educate yourself before you put your money in. That's why I tell people all the time. I don't care what someone's track record is. You need to educate yourself at least to have a basic foundation and understanding what you're doing with your money. Yeah. But that money's making you nothing in the bank, I promise you. Yeah. But again, a lot of people too have hesitation. Yeah, I agree. Hesitation causes fear. It does. And fear causes inaction. And action keeps you from growing. Yeah. Keeps you stagnant. Keeps you from growing. So, a lot of people, the best thing to do is to get started. You got to take that first step. You got to flip a house, buy a rental property, learn. I tell people, okay, you want to flip houses, great. Don't keep waiting for the perfect deal. You're not going to make 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 grand on your first flip. It's okay. But think about it. If you do a flip and you mess up and you make 15, 20 grand, it's like profit. You literally got paid $15,000 to learn a skill, right? Like, remember my partner, Ranji, who is, has a considerable amount of wealth. This guy made $3,000 on his first flip. And he talked about that on our last episode, so make sure you guys... Yeah, y'all go check that out. Serial entrepreneur. He was a retired lawyer at that point. Very educated guy, educated and successful entrepreneur. He still tried it and made some mistakes and only made $3 grand. Yeah. He could have said, man, look, I only made $3 grand on my first flip. This ain't for me. The thing about it is, no, he's like, okay, at least I didn't lose money. I didn't know what I was doing. Now I'm a little more educated. Let me do this again. And so that's what people got to do. You got to start when it comes to investing in real estate. No fear, because fear causes hesitation. Hesitation causes inaction, and action keeps you from growing. Yeah. Simple as that. I got some more questions up here, so I'll start with this one. They asked, what would you say is the most challenging part of buying investment properties, and how do you combat those challenges? So, do you want to start with that one? I'll let you start, and then I'll expound. The most challenging part of buying investment properties, at least from my experience, has just been dealing with so many different situations. Like, I've got this one that I'm working on right now where the seller has 6 different judgments. And just kind of how it was is these are judgments from years and years back from her now deceased husband. And, they owed a debt to a bank or to a credit company, and that credit company closed. So that company got sold to a different company, and that company's now like, I don't know what's going on. So it just becomes a headache as far as, title issues and making sure there's no liens or any judgments or anything like that on title, so I can have clear title when I close. So I think that's really the biggest challenge, I would say, for me, at least, when I've been seeing them. What about you? I think when you're buying rental properties and you're acquiring assets, there needs to be a near-term, mid-term, and long-term strategy of what you're going to do with the property. A lot of people, will only look at one financial metric, right? When you're buying a rental property, you need to look at cash flow. You need to look at cash-on-cash return. You need to kind of, if you're getting debt on the property, which a lot of people are, I am doing that too, as you're getting a loan to buy that rental property, you need to look at your amortization table. You need to look at, where am I at year 5 with this interest rate and this amortization schedule? Where am I at year 10, right? Because the ability to buy an asset to kind of be it's predictable, meaning you kind of can predict some type of appreciation based on history. A year-over-year appreciation of the asset. You'll know what that property approximately be worth in 5 to 10 years. You'll know based on the amortization table what that property you're going to owe on it in 5 to 10 years. And then you're kind of making those decisions and learning, hey, I'm buying this property. Is it stabilized? Do I got to put money into it? What type of tenant am I putting into this property? How do I stabilize this asset? How do I put it under a property manager or manage it myself? What strategy am I using to cash flow? And how can I make that as stress-free as possible? You need to have your systems and processes kind of planned out and dialed in before you start on that journey, because you don't want to be figuring out. And also, anyone that's thinking of buying a rental property, anybody, you need to read up on the landlord-tenant laws. You need to know the law.
Yeah.
You don't need to, because the last thing you want to do is be sued. The last thing you want to do is have bad paperwork.
Yeah.
You know, if you have to evict somebody, you want your legal position to be strong. You need to go spend that $250, $500, $750 to a lawyer, which is nothing, to go have a consultation, to have your lease looked over, to have your paperwork in place, and really understand what you're getting yourself into from a legal position. That way, when something comes up, you know legally what's the process, okay? They didn't pay, deliver them notice, what the process is for eviction. You don't want to go in with the open mindset, oh, I'm going to rent the property, I'm not going to have any type of issues, right?
It's not realistic.
Exactly. It's not realistic. So studying up on that will give you a strategy, a legal strategy, if problem X, Y, or Z arises.
Yeah.
So that would be, you know, my most challenging thing, though, is just managing the asset, right? Because that takes time. And the highest and best use of my time as a real estate investor is not managing a rental property.
Yeah.
So delegating that, making sure the person I delegate that to is doing a great job, has my best interests at heart, you know, isn't making me pay for problems a tenant calls. Like they're flushing, you know, baby wipes or, you know, towels down the toilet, and now it's all backed up, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've seen it all, right?
Yeah. Pouring grease down the drain.
Exactly. And then
Dump it outside.
and then blaming you, right?
Yeah.
So you know, I think that the most challenging part is when someone doesn't pay. But as I said before, the things I said to do to mitigate that headache, study up on the law, learn kind of what it takes to be a landlord.
Yeah. I have some more questions. This one I can take because this is a quick one. It's just one directly to me. They asked, when's the merch drop? So as far as the assets merch, just got to reach out to me privately. Right now, that's not my priority, I would say. My priority is just growing the business, you know, growing the team to do what we can to take over the market, the Hampton Roads market. The second question, though, this is a really good one. They asked, how do you manage growing a large business that you are actively scaling while still maintaining social life, romantic life, and physical and mental health?
That is a very, very powerful question.
Yeah.
Can you say that one more time and I'll answer that? I just want to make sure I hit all the bullet points.
How do you manage growing a large business that you are actively scaling while still maintaining social life, romantic life, and physical and mental health?
That is a very deep question. I probably can have a 15-minute answer, but I'll try to give you the reader digest version. I think the biggest lie that everyone's been told is that you have to have balance in life to be successful. In order to be successful, you're going to go through periods of your life without balance.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that's the truth. That's what it takes to become successful, to scale a business. However, in order to reach balance and to have a quality of life, when you're in that unbalanced phase of the entrepreneurial cycle, you have to be able to work on the business, not just in the business. You have to be able to set up standard operating procedures, a method to your madness in order to be able to replicate what it is that you do for the business. So that is the only way where you'll ever have a quality of life and able to maintain scale. It takes a lot of conscious effort to maintain your social relationships, your romantic relationships, while scaling a large business. And the best advice that I've learned too is guard your energy.
Yeah.
Be very, very selective of who you invest your time with, who you invest, into. Because so many people, as you become what other people perceive as successful and, making money and stuff like that, people want more and more from you. They're going to take and take and take and take. And everyone thinks that you have some secret recipe to success. And when the reality is there is no secret, the reality is there is no secret recipe to success. It's hard work, grit, and determination is what's going to get you there. And so in order to have balance in life, you have to go through periods of your life when you're extremely unbalanced with the end goal in mind.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree 100% with that. Literally, I mean, there's not much I can add to it. You really address everything with that.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, yeah, I'm trying to think of what else I can even say regarding that. What I'm gonna say actually kind of leads into the next question that the same person asked, which is, do you feel that any of these aspects take less of a priority when in grind mode? So I'll just go right into answering that one. I do agree. Just like you said, I mean, balance is kind of impossible, especially if we're talking about, you have a startup and you're building and scaling your business. Something's got to take a back seat. A wise man, when I was playing football, I had a coach that I was talking to, where he told me, because at the time I was in high school, I was still trying to have, friends. I was trying to go to the next level as far as playing in college and such. And I also had a girl at the time. He said, you got to let one go. And I didn't understand why he was saying that. But now I really do. It's because you only have 24 hours in a day. Even if you work 24 hours a day, which we know is impossible, you still only have 24 hours. If your girl needs this much time, your family needs this much time, you still got to work out, you still got to eat right. Okay, where does your business, what time do you have for your business? So it's just, you got to prioritize what you feel is the most important. And if we're talking about, relationships, so before even talking about love relationships, if we're just talking about family relationships, you got to, set those boundaries up front with your family.
100%.
Just let them know, like, hey, I can't be taking phone calls for 3 hours anymore. I can't be, just up and leaving right now. I'm trying to build something. Same thing with your friends also, just letting them know, hey, I can't be at this scene anymore because this isn't productive for what I'm trying to do as far as my business. I can't be gossiping for the girls about, bad girls club. For the guys, we can't be, waste our time having meaningless conversations.
Absolutely.
Because we're trying to build something bigger. And then if we're talking about our love interests, that's a big thing. Your partner, they have to be on the same understanding as you. And as business owners, entrepreneurs, sometimes we don't explain that clearly because we're just so focused on go, go, go. But I would say, my advice to any person would be, sit down with your partner, tell them exactly what you're trying to do, and also give them the option to be able to walk away if this isn't, for them.
Yeah,
but
I love that.
If you get a partner who's with you, who's willing to ride for you and stick with you through that, you better keep that person close because there's not many people out there that are like that.
Can you reiterate that question? And I had some points. I just want to make sure I hit it correctly.
Yeah. So they asked, do you feel any of those aspects above take less of a priority when in grind mode? And in aspects above, they're referring to your social life, your romantic life, and your physical and mental health.
Yeah. So when you're in grind mode, when you're on this journey of trying to build a successful business, you have to first identify your why.
Mm-hmm.
Because the people in your life, your family, your friends, and if you have a romantic partner, if you can't communicate your why to them effectively, then you can't ask them to be understanding.
Yeah.
If my why is a Ferrari and a mansion and some Gucci and a chain, I don't expect my family to understand my why.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing it for selfish gain, for material gain, because I want to flex and I want to live a luxury lifestyle.
Yeah.
My why is different. My why is so my family doesn't struggle. When everyone sees anything that I got, you can look at anything material possession I got and look at me and say, wow. But just know before I got that material possession, my mama straight, my brother straight, my sister straight, my cousin straight, auntie, uncle, grandma, everybody straight. Everybody's taken care of. I'm not a rich guy, but I'm very blessed, and I made sure they're straight and not in a hurtful position, and that's my why.
Yeah.
And so when people know that, hey, I look out for my family, that's what drives me, that's what moves me, my unborn children, that's what I'm grinding for, so they don't have to struggle, so my family doesn't have to struggle, it makes the buy-in easier. It makes the people that are in your life supporting you on this journey, when you go through all these stresses, when you go through these mental health lapses, because you're going to have that period of unbalance.
Yeah.
It's going to affect your mental health.
Yeah.
And if you don't take care of your physical health, I promise you that is the number one thing. I don't care what anybody says. If you do not take care of your physical health, eventually it will affect your business. Yeah. It's going to catch up to you. Your body can only take so much. You need sleep. You need exercise. You need fresh air. These things are essential to scale a business. I don't care what anybody says. An effective entrepreneur, you got to take care of your physical health. Because what's the purpose of making $10 million, but you die 5 years later because you have high blood pressure and diabetes?
Yeah.
It makes no logical sense, right? To sacrifice your physical health for money. It makes no sense. So the big part of it, again, is identifying your why you're on this journey, and to be able to communicate that why to whoever's in your life and have them understand that, look, right now, this is the journey I'm on. It requires X, Y, and Z. This is what I'm all in.
Yeah.
If you're in agreement with that, I love you. It's like I told my girl, is like, I'll do anything for you, but give up on my dream. Because if I give up on my dream, I'll give up on you. I'll never cheat on you. I won't mess around on you. You know, I'll be faithful. I'll take care of you, everything, all that. But I won't give up on my dream right now for you.
Yeah.
Because if I give up on that, I will give up on you. And that's how serious the journey is to me, and how dedicated I am to it and focused, because that dream and that journey I'm on ultimately is going to take care of my significant other, going to take care of my unborn children, and allows me to bless and take care of my family. Everything else is just cherry on top, as a bonus.
Yeah.
That to me is the journey I'm on. And if you're able to explain that to somebody that's in your life and they don't understand it, then it's not for them to be in your life. That means they don't love you unconditionally. They want your time selfishly, and they don't respect what you're doing.
Yeah.
And look, I get it. For significant others, it's very difficult for them to understand that. That, hey, my time's spent in my business, but hey, you know, I could also go get a 9-to-5 and we live paycheck to paycheck. And then what?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, you got to trade to, you know, one thing for another. And look, hey, there's nothing wrong with working a 9-to-5, because I wish I could only work 40 hours a week.
Life's all about sacrifices, man. At the end of the day, it's what are you willing to sacrifice?
Oh my goodness.
For your end goal. So, I mean, the same thing that, you know, I say, it's like everything I do now is not for 2024. It's for the future. You know, my future family, future generations. I'm trying to build a legacy. So, yeah, I'm going to have to, you know, be gone for a while. I'm going to have to work a lot. I'm going to have to do things you may not understand, but it's all for the future. At the end of the day. And, you know, we can live like coal miners for 5 years and live like kings for 50 years. Or, you know, we can try to live like kings now and be working for the rest of our lives. I choose the first option.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what's so crazy is I told one of my cousins, I'm very close with my cousins because my siblings are so much younger than me. I told them, I was like, you have to sacrifice a period of your life to get ahead.
Yep.
Because if you don't sacrifice for a period of your life, you're going to sacrifice your whole life. And you're going to be in the same position and the same hamster wheel, stuck in that, keeping up with the Joneses, in that hamster wheel in the matrix of the American dream, working a 9-to-5, paying into the 401k, retiring at 65 to 70 years old with Social Security and a 401k. That's not living. Yeah. You're existing. You know what I mean? So in order to break that cycle, you have to sacrifice at some point in your life.
Yeah, just a clog a machine at that point. Well, y'all, we're going to go ahead and end this live now. I appreciate everybody who's been asking questions. You guys asked some great questions. Everybody who asked a question, make sure you tune into our video that we're going to drop on the Let's Talk Assets podcast page. We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts. Anywhere in which you listen to your content or watch your content, we're up there. So tune in. We answered a bunch of questions up here, and I hope we were able to provide some value for y'all. So I appreciate everybody for tuning into the live. I'm going to go ahead and end it now.
Appreciate y'all.
No. All right, sweet. All right, and I mean, we're still on the air, so we can go ahead and, wrap up and such.
Absolutely, yeah. It was real nice to give back and ask some questions. I definitely think that what I would like to do, what we should do for the people, and there's a lot of faithful people we have for this pod, but to do a big live stream podcast.
Yeah.
Streaming some guests, I think for times, kind of like maybe panel style.
Okay.
Our audience. We're gonna get some feedback from you guys on what you want to see here. We're again, the whole purpose of why me and Chris do this is we try to give you guys value.
Yep.
We've been through the experience in life where there's been a lot of gatekeepers in our industry and business and in entrepreneurship in general. We're here to unlock those secrets, give that game to you for free, and really provide value on this podcast. So we really appreciate, again, everyone's time and commitment to tuning in. And again, we hope you gain some value. That's the whole goal, is for us to say something or have a guest on here, give you guys a nugget that will affect change in your life and be able to improve your quality of life and help you achieve your dreams and your goals, because that's what it's all about. We have an abundance mindset, me and Chris, not a scarcity mindset. And, we're here to see everybody grow. There's enough out here for everybody to make a living.
Exactly. Agree 100%. Everybody, y'all, make sure you let us know what you want to see also for these future videos. Whether you want certain guests, you want to talk about certain topics, please be sure to let us know. We don't know what to do if you guys don't tell us. So let us know what you want. You can put it in the comments below, or you can reach out to us on our social platforms. We're both on Instagram, Facebook. Of course, we're on TikTok also. Or you can message or comment on the Let's Talk Assets podcast page. But I appreciate everybody who's tuned in. Gio, we're out of here. Let's talk assets.
Peace.